I think on the issue of the 204, as His Excellency has said, the sanctions are clear as to the recourse that the parties will have against the defunct MPs who actually betrayed the cause. But as to whether William Ruto is impeachable as a president, the Constitution is actually very clear. And the Law Society, I think, had already given an indication that they are concerned about certain things that he has done that actually constitute grounds for impeachment. And those are being compiled. And wherever and whenever a president violates the Constitution, there are grounds enough that the Constitution sets out. He's not above the Constitution, he's not above the law, and he can be impeached. So that is one option that is on the table. You are aware that our courts found the deployment of our police officers to Haiti as being unconstitutional. You are aware that he has defied the courts and gone ahead and insisted, just the way he has pushed this draconian bill down the throats of Kenyans. He has pushed that decision to deploy to Haiti against court orders. There are things that he has done in blatant violation of our Constitution that constitute grounds for impeachment. So we want to make it very, very clear that as a coalition, working with the LSK and other interested parties, we are working on it. And that is very, very clear. But also for the media, I think we want to thank you for the highlighting of this very successful protest by the Gen Zs. You are also victims. Many of you actually got injuries. We say poorly to you, but we are also saying you must join us in taking action against this police brutality. And we're not just talking about our local media, the international media also. I saw one international foreign reporter who was injured. And we are happy that the international media took interest in this matter. We saw Al Jazeera, we saw CNN, and we are happy with that coverage and support that we received. But however, we are still very concerned that the international community, our partners, have been very quiet. Blatant violation of human rights in Kenya, both last year when we had our demos, our friends in the UK, in the US were quiet. And they turned a blind eye to the violation of human rights in Kenya now and last year. We're happy the AU has come out. But why are our international friends quiet? Is it because they have their blue-eyed boy, their puppet here? They do not want to condemn when he's doing blatant things like what we have seen, the death of this young man and 75 others. When there is corruption, other nations have been sanctioned. We saw the Speaker of the Ugandan Assembly being sanctioned by one of the countries. But when we have corruption in Kenya, a blind eye has been turned to William Ruto and the endemic corruption in the Kenya Kwanza government, including the fertilizer scandal we saw recently. The minister is still serving. Why are there double standards, we dare ask? Thank you.
Thank you. Quickly.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to bring the apologies of a cold. I want to bring the apologies of my party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. He has just from South Africa and is trying to rest, so he could not make it here. But he's with us. And I want also to take this opportunity to thank the 115 members of parliament, mainly from our coalition, who stood with the Kenyans to reject the finance bill 2024. I'm also saddened that some of our members decided to vote yes against their people's wishes. And as a coalition or as a party, we'll take disciplinary measures against those particular members because, as you have been informed, our own Secretary General communicated to them what they were supposed to do, and unfortunately, they never did that. Some of them are using local politics about the finance bill. Finance bill affects all Kenyans, does not affect a particular local community. So we have to come together as Kenyans and make sure that Kenyans get the right thing that is supposed to help them prosper as Kenyans in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Babu, 1 minute. Robert Boy, you have anything?
Today we are here and we are mourning the death of our hero, a young man called Rex, who was shot yesterday by a police officer. And I went earlier on to the city mortuary and I can confirm that Rex is no more. And I want to say that Rex's only crime was to fight for the rights of Kenyans. His only crime was to come out and ensure that he fights the draconian finance bill. The crime of only ensuring that the price of unga is not increased, the price of other goods, food stuff are not increased. And therefore, may Rex's soul rest in peace. To the Inspector General of Police, we demand that you resign. Koome, we know that you are vicariously liable to the murder with malice aforethought of one Rex, and therefore you must resign, and the DPP must institute a criminal charge of murder against your person. To the police officer who murdered Rex, you must surrender yourself before Kenyans catch up with you, because if they get you on the streets, it will be something different. I want to state clearly to the police officers, your work is to keep law and order. Your work is not to kill Kenyans. We are many than you. Suppose we decide to destroy you, what do you think will happen? Will we have a nation? And lastly, to the 115 members of parliament who voted, congratulations for standing with Kenyans. You voted with Kenyans. To the 204 members, you voted with the oppressors. We know you are political dealers. You are not political leaders. We know you are leaders who have a mission, but not a vision. A mission to destroy the future of this nation. A mission to ensure that the finance bill raises the cost of living in this nation, but not a vision to change the future of this nation for the best. To Zakayo, I want to tell you that you are still on the tree. Gen Zs are cutting down the tree. Hiyo mti ndio itakatwa, jumekataa kushuka. Tupatane next week. Let there be demonstrations everywhere in the country, in every ward, in every constituency, in every sub-county, in every county, and across the nation. Let us proceed with the struggle. Thank you and God bless you.
Excellency, for this opportunity so that we can correct two issues that I have noted. One is that, Excellencies, we noticed that there was a tendency of those 2 or 4 cronies of the Kenya Kwanza administration who are trying to imply that Gen Z are not knowledgeable enough to know what was contained in the finance bill. Maybe it is a high time you realize that these are young people that have just finished university and have no jobs because this administration has not created a conducive environment for employment. So that's the first thing we need to clarify. The second one is that the Kenya Kwanza team in the House kept implying that there is something good they have done to Kenyans. Every time they spoke, they implied that they have removed VAT on bread. They kept saying they have removed motor vehicle tax. The reality is there was no VAT on bread, there was no motor vehicle tax. Those were ideas in their brains. So they cannot be telling us that they have removed something that was not already in law. What they did is that they actually created new laws that are going to be punitive to Kenyans, and we are saying that the fight continues because we are going to the committee of the whole house on Tuesday, and we'll keep fighting for Kenyans. Aluta continua.
Thank you. Well done.
Sasa, thank you.
Sure.